Welcome to Black Book TV, where we spotlight Houston's best black-owned businesses.
I just want to see black businesses do well. That's it.
Yeah.
Because you basically tell them, like, I'm necessary.
You are.
One thing about God, he will give you the vision.
What's up, Black Bookers, and welcome to another episode of Black Book TV, where we highlight the most phenomenal, amazing business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, just people of impact that's doing their thing. Today, we have a very special guest, Dr. Ashley Devers, owner and founder of the Body Max Chiropractic, specializing in holistic health services and all that good stuff. It's Houston's premier chiropractic clinic where you serve athletes, expecting moms, you name it, general body, you know, whatever. So yeah,
car accidents,
all that good stuff. So basically, whatever it takes to unlock your body's fullest potential, this is where you go, to the Body Max Chiro. Dr. Ashley Devers, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love that introduction.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. I know we've been trying to do this thing for a while, but you be having all the clients coming to you. You be busy. You be having the top of the top. You have the incoming people that's getting introduced to chiropractic services for the first time, the professional athletes, celebrities. You're just doing it out here.
It's a humbling experience that they would choose me to be their chiropractor. So I just make sure, I'm like, okay, got to make sure you get this right. And when I do, well, most times I do. and when that happens, I would say, yeah.
Well, I say every time you worked on me, you got it right.
Oh, so, for sure. Yeah. Like when I say most, that's not like
you being 51%.
Humble. Yeah, that's the humility. Yeah. But like I said, I am grateful for being able to work in my passion, and also what I believe my purpose is. So yeah.
Cool. Like, so what made you decide, like, hey, I want to become a chiropractor?
Ooh. Okay, so to make a very long story short, I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. In what capacity was the big question mark, because I just liked science. I liked math, so I was like, okay, back in the day when it used to be either a doctor or an attorney, or a lawyer. Like you didn't know other possibilities, right. And so when I was like, I'm debatable, but I'm not one to like just argue on top of argue, like
Gotcha.
So but I really liked math and science, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor. And so I went to shadow several different doctors, and I really like chiropractors mainly because I met like two specifically that I can think of, chiropractors that were like in their 70s, and they still had a zeal for the practice. They still loved what they did, even though they weren't adjusting because their bodies couldn't take it anymore. They still found like how they could pursue their passion. Sometimes it was plants and herbs, but they were still like excited about what they did, and their family, not their parents, but they were parents, but their family was trying to push them into retirement because they could do it, but they were like, for what? Gotcha. I could, I find my purpose here with my patients. And so that zeal really made me think that I'm like, man, there's something here. Right. Yeah. Other people that I met and spoke to, they were like, yeah, it's such and such amount of years that I have until I'm retiring and I'm out. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. Like,
got you. Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In the chiropractic industry, that's more of kind of like a natural kind of medicine, or I don't want to say the wrong word.
No, it's okay.
Like a natural kind of like therapy versus traditional medicine where you like taking drugs or that kind of thing.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why I liked chiropractic, because it is a form of alternative medicine, meaning that we don't see medication or surgery as the primary fix it, right? And now the medical system is starting to shift just a little bit and saying, okay, maybe we shouldn't be prescribing all these medications right off the bat. Right now they're like, okay, well, go through the channels, make sure you go through PT, make sure you go see the chiro, make sure you do all the conservative and holistic things first, which should be the first line of defense, right? And then if that doesn't work, then we'll bring in the medications. And so back when I was looking to see what kind of doctor I wanted to be, when I went and shadowed a lot of MDs, that's all they were doing, just prescribe medication. I was like, that can't be the only way to fix the body. Right. So, so I do like chiropractic because we have so many different things that we can work on in the body. So basically what I tell people is if it's a muscle or a joint, we can work on it.
Got you.
Right. So people are like, wait, so you can work on my knee? And I'm like, absolutely. So you can work on my jaw? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just the things that we know about and the scope of medicine that we have is it's enough to keep me occupied for an entire career length. So I'm excited to be a chiropractor.
Got you. So how does your services kind of tie into with physical therapy? Is that like something
Mhm.
that you all do as well?
So yes and no. So, if you think my interpretation of what a chiropractor is as opposed to a PT is
Mm,
that chiropractic is more of the passive side of therapy. So, passive meaning that the patient lays down and we do all the work on them.
got
And then
you.
they transition into active therapy. So that's when the patient is actually doing the work. So
I
they're
see.
you're doing the exercises. Though that's the difference between that's the major difference between chiropractic and PT.
Got you.
Mhm.
Got you. And you've been in business for 6 or 7
So I've
years?
been in business for 6 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But you've been in the industry for
10.
10.
Mhm.
Okay. So like what are some of your accomplishments that you're proud of that you have accomplished over these last few years?
Man,
Because you've been out
so
here killing it.
well,
You've been
thank
out here
you.
killing it.
Man, there's how do I put it? There's things that people see as far as accomplishments, and then there's also things that people don't see that I'm like extremely proud of myself. And I think that honestly, it's the things that people don't see that I'm most proud of.
Mhm.
Um, just the ability to like life happens for us all, right?
Mhm.
But being able to step up and like experience life but not allow that to impact what you do for a living is really difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, okay, well just be patient with them because they're going through such and
Yeah.
such or whatnot. And so for me, while I do need that patience that people I'm grateful that they
Mhm.
give me. I've overcome some big things.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Some huge things. So yeah, so I would say that just the ability to really bounce back, be resilient, and show up for yourself every day is really my biggest accomplishment. Yes, I've gotten awards within the city. So, top 50 professionals in Houston, Black Book Community Service, because I do a lot for the community because, it's just like I'm put on this planet for a
Mhm.
reason, right? And I'm not married. I don't have kids. So with that being said, I have a lot. Let me rephrase that. I have extra
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
extra energy that I can put towards other things that other people wouldn't necessarily be able to. So I'm grateful to be able to do that. So yes, I appreciate that reward and
Got
stuff like
you.
that. So
So as a because you own your own practice,
mhm,
right? And as a business owner, and we just have like all these different business owners, we know that it's tough. We have
mhm,
personal conversations and relationships with certain business owners, and they
mhm.
open up to us and share, where they are in their journey, where they're at a high moment or low moment, so on and so forth. What is some advice that you would give somebody? Because you kind of hit on, being persistent,
Mhm.
having that perseverance. Like, what is um some advice that you would give to a business owner, whether they're a startup or they've been in business for years, that can help them keep going in a challenging time?
I would strongly suggest that you just stick to your core values. Make sure you have them, stick to them, so that when things start to shift or you notice that things are kind of getting misaligned, pun
Mm.
intended, that you can actually come back to center and really refocus on what it is that or the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
Got you. I like that. I like that. Oftentimes, chiropractic care is misunderstood.
Yeah.
What are some of like the biggest misconceptions that you see within your industry?
Oh, it's a lot. All right.
And how do you educate your clients?
Yeah.
With that?
Well, one of the main things before people even walk through the door, they're like, "You're a doctor?" Yes. Chiropractors are doctors. And the amount of education. So it's not like a weekend course, even though it seems like, because a lot of people, the only exposure that they have to chiropractic is what they
Mhm.
see online and they just see us adjusting. But there's a lot that goes into the behind the scenes work, just as in any industry,
Right.
right? That there's a lot that goes like exams, x-rays, making sure that you're clear. Chiropractors, if we are taking, because a lot of us actually take x-rays in-house.
Mhm.
So if we're taking x-rays in-house, we actually are responsible for if you have something more serious, right, that would cause you not to need I'm trying to skate around it. But basically, if you have something like cancer,
Gotcha.
right? If that's found on the x-ray, we actually are like, we're taught to see it, and it's on our license in order to identify it and to call it out. Because back pain can be caused for several different things. It could be renal problem, like kidney problems, right? Like I said, it could be cancer related. It could be like you just have a lot of stuff going on. So with that being said, because you can go to the chiropractor without needing a referral, that's another thing that a lot of people don't know, right? You can go to the chiropractor without needing a referral. We're responsible for that information that, you know, is going on with you. So we actually have to clear. So our educational background is extensive.
Yeah.
My student loans still show it. But yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing about chiropractor, people feel like, oh, well, if I go to the chiropractor one time, that means I have to go for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Once again, you are a adult. You make your own decisions. Nobody tells you what you do or do not have to do.
But I would encourage you to go often.
Absolutely. And you have different people that make different decisions. So some people are like, man, this is life-changing. I notice that when I go, I feel so much better. I notice when I don't go, I don't feel great. And then some people are like, hey, I went about 4 or 5 times. It fixed my issue, and then I haven't been back because I'm feeling great. So it really depends per person. I just try not to make blanket statements saying that, you know, if you go one time, then you'll always have to go. Like that just doesn't make sense. But yeah, so those are just a couple of things.
Gotcha. No, I like that. I like that. And you like super experienced. You have like over thousands of clients. You've even had some celebrity clients.
Yeah. So we've had.
How does that make you feel, knowing that you have a great enough reputation to where people are looking forward to, you know, get your services, and even celebrities are looking to, you know,
definitely a humbling experience. Having seen, do I say people's names? Okay, I just not. But having the insight of knowing just the body and being good at what I do. I think that's why a lot of people come to me. It's not because, yes, I know, but I know people, but it really boils down to, are you good at what you do? People aren't going to come to you if it's just all talk, because at the end of the day, if they're coming for their body, they want to make sure that you are the person that's going to take care of them and you know what you're doing in your field. Are you a true specialist and a professional in your field? So I don't have to know, and because I work on people in different categories, and I don't have to know everything about their particular category, whether it be rap artist, whether it be a boxer, whether it be a NFL player. Like, I don't have to know all the details of like as long as I'm good at what I do when they come in. So if they're coming with shoulder pain, or if they're coming in with a knee problem, as long as I can fix that knee problem, at the end of the day, that's why they're there. And so as long as I keep that focus, then the referrals just speak for themselves. And that's when things grow, right? So I try not to like say, oh man, I get to work on this person because like, oh my, you know what that would do for my brand? While that's great and all, I just try to stay focused on what I do and what I love to do, and make sure that I give them the results that they're looking for. Yeah.
And then the times that I've visited your space, I enjoy the fact that you treat all of your clients as if they're celebrities. So you like treat everybody with that same love, care, and attention. So it just speaks volumes on, you know, the great work that you're doing. And then not only that, but you're branching out into the nutrition space as well. Is that correct? Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So we are Body Max Chiropractic and Nutrition. Always have been, but I have not pressed the nutrition side, mainly because I have my bachelor's degree in nutrition. So going to U of H, that was the degree that I decided to pursue. With that being said, it's been kind of hard trying to figure out what how I was going to actually push him. So it used to be where like the macros, macros were a huge thing at one point, right? So you make the meal plan and you're like, okay, eat this every day for the next 30 days. And then in 30 days, I'm going to give you a whole nother thing. Yeah, that worked for a little bit, but realistically speaking, like Houston, being in Houston, do
Yeah.
you know Houston is the city of the brunch? Like you cannot consolidate people to just eating like Monday through Friday. I have to eat this, and then my only cheat day is like, a Saturday or a Sunday. Like that just doesn't work, especially if you're trying to lose weight, then you can't have a cheat day Saturday or Sunday. So that did not work. So I just put it all to the side and was just like, don't worry about it. But now But now I love the experience that I'm getting in actual vitamins and minerals, hormones, enzymes, understanding gut health, and really being able to determine or through lab testing, determine what it is that you're deficient in, what it is that's, disrupting you internally on a chemical level, and then addressing it that way. So I've actually partnered up with a new company that has provided me with the ability to provide that to the community, because they don't because everybody's like, well, it's a blanket statement. Everybody needs vitamin D. But it's nice to have a blanket statement, but it's even better if something's more specific, to each individual. So to provide that to my community is something that I'm super excited about. I wish I had the box.
No, for sure. No, it's cool. It's cool. And then speaking of your community, I think it's super dope that you've created a supportive work environment for young African-American professionals in healthcare. Yeah. We did a networking mixer, and I just seen so many young Black females and males who, rocking, the Body Max Chiro. And I'm like, wait, you work with Ashley? Because I know, I just know you personally. So I just always thought it was just, you not realizing and understanding, kind of being ignorant to the fact that you own your own practice. In my mind, like, I deal with business owners on different levels. So I just thought it was like you by yourself doing all of these services. And then I started seeing your team out there, and I'm just like, wow, you're really creating a positive workspace where you're not only an expert in your field, but you're mentoring the next generation of young professionals. Why is that important?
So growing up, I didn't know about chiropractic. Somebody had mentioned chiropractic, and I was like, what is that? So the exposure just wasn't there. And so when I actually graduated, it was actually before, like when I went to school was before like a lot of like chiropractic hit social media, basically. And so when it finally hit, they were like, every time I ran into somebody and they were like, what do you do? And I say, oh, I'm a chiropractor. Wait, what? You're a Black chiropractor? I only know like white males to be chiropractors. And so I wanted to create a space where people, because I didn't have that. I actually like chiropractors. I hate to say it, it is what it is, but chiropractors will eat their young. Wow. So, and I was put in a situation twice where, that happened. And I was like, I want to create an opportunity for people that if they have the grind, if they have, the push, then they have a space where they can learn and then grow out from there. Now, if you're working with me and you don't have the grind and you don't have the push, like you're not going to last. It is what it is. But the people that I have on my team, oh, I am so excited because we are about to make, we're about to make strides. So that's mainly my main thing. Cause now I'm having more, African-Americans come to me saying, hey, can I shadow? Hey, can I, be a part of this experience, see how you do what you do, and then provide that, on a, let's say another side of town or something like that. And so to provide that for them is definitely fulfilling, because I feel like we can service more people that way. Right. I definitely can't take care of everyone because I've already come to the end of me and be like, this isn't going to work long term. So how can I, branch out and help more people, including the people that are looking to help more people?
Got you. That kind of ties into my next question. What's next for the Body Max? Is it expanding? Is it having more locations?
You just took the words out of my mouth. So yes, we are looking to expand. What we are about to do is actually create a holistic spa type experience. And so part of it is going to be chiropractic, and the other part is going to be mainly just like a wellness experience where we'll have saunas, cold plunges. Like we're about to do the thing. So
sign me up. Like I need to
right. So so everything holistic that you would think that you would want in a health care, as far as your options, that's not including in medication. That's what I want to provide to our community and just people in general as more options than just the traditional Western medicine.
I love it. So where can the people find you to support you?
Oh, so if you're looking to find us, you can go to thebodymax.com. You can also find us on social media at Dr. Ashley Devers or Body Max Chiro. And that one is on Instagram as well as Twitter, and we're on Facebook. Sorry, not Twitter. We're not on Twitter, actually.
Okay.
Not at all. Sorry, Twitter.
Yeah.
We're on TikTok, that one.
Cool. Well, perfect. I want to say thank you so much for joining us on Black Book TV.
Thanks for
We had
having
an
me.
amazing conversation. I love your passion. Love everything that you're doing for the community with your business, whether you're giving back or providing services or just even mentoring the youth and, you know, training up the next generation of professional healthcare providers. So just thank you
You're welcome.
for all of those who are tuned in. Make sure you like, comment, and share. Make sure that you support the Body Max and Dr. Ashley Devers, and make sure that you're following Black Book Houston on all social media platforms. And if you want to check us out, www.blackbookhouston.com. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. And until next time on Black Book TV, peace.